Just like with every other drum that you're tuning, if you get even tension, it's going to sound better than when it doesn't have even tension. Let's start with the resonance side first. First thing to do, as always, is to finger tighten the lugs. I've already finger tightened these so that you're at a good starting point. Now, I stole this method from Rob Brown, and it works so well. Take your hand, place it in the middle of the drum, right? You see when I place my hand in the middle of the drum, you see all those wrinkles? And so all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around to each lug, and I'm gonna begin turning the lug up, right? And I'm gonna kind of go in a typical star pattern. And I'm just gonna kind of go around to every lug and give it a turn or so until I can get rid of the wrinkles in the kick drum, in the head. So I'm just kind of going around. So these are kind of gone. So I'm kind of go this way till all the wrinkles are gone. So I'm kind of just skipping over the ones that where the wrinkles are already gone. So my fist is in here, the wrinkles are gone, right? Now, what I'm gonna do, with my palm still in there, I'm gonna kind of go to each lug and kind of back off a little bit. And I'm gonna back off these until I start to see a little bit of wrinkle. And the idea is that it's an easy way to get your head to a tension where there's it's a little loose, kind of how you see here. It's a little loose, but it's still tightened. You know what I mean? To a certain extent. And this is a good way to tune your head if you want a lot of power out of your kick drum. If you're going for like tone and you know, like you want a specific tone out of your kick drum, like playing, I guess like jazz or something, you want like an actual tone, then you probably need to approach this more how you would approach like a floor tom. But for the majority of us who are looking for power out of our kick drum, that's a good way to get it. And so see, that's a tension, that this tension here is enough to where it's a little loose, but it's not too loose. And so it's just loose enough to where this head is gonna vibrate enough to give us the power that we need. Really simple, right? Now, check this out. So now we're on the other side, right? Now we're on the batter side. And on the batter side, we're gonna do something similar, except I'm not gonna back off of this head. I'm just gonna tune it all the way through till all the lugs disappear. And so I'm kind of going in this star pattern just to, because this drum is so big, you know, sometimes if you just kind of go around to each lug however you want, it still can come out a little uneven just because the head is just because the drum itself is so big. And you know, if your turns are a little off, it can get a little weird. So I've almost kind of got it here. I can't really see these. Yeah, I'm pretty close. I don't like coated heads. Specifically for this reason, but also because they're just very, I don't like them. So I should have got it clear. Anyway, so see, so you can see we've gotten rid of the wrinkles. And now from here, you can either take this batter head up, you can take it down depending on what kind of tension you want. But with what we've done here, I'll even use the mallet. That's it. That's all it takes. There you go. So now I kind of want to talk a little bit more about getting the specific sound that you want out of your kick drum. There's a couple things that come to mind when it comes to, really fine-tuning your sound and figuring out what you want. First of all, obviously the head itself, right? So I bought this drum set and I wanted to try like using different types of heads. So I got some Remo heads and I said, let me try a coated head, because I've heard some kick drums with coated heads and it sounded pretty cool. And I hate this. Preferably, I like clear heads, just because, I don't know, coated is I don't know, just the way it sounds on bigger drums, floor toms too. I'm not into it, you know what I mean? So I'm probably gonna grab a clear Power Stroke for this, more than likely. It'll probably sound a lot better. This kick drum sounds really good, but I just know that coated head is just not, it's not for me. So you wanna pick out, heads that, really work for you. Like, for example, this one's heavier. Like on this guy, you see I have the heavyweight, and the heavyweight sounds way different, from like a coated Power Stroke, because there's reinforcement on here, so it's kind of muffling it to a certain extent. The patch too. And speaking of patches, that's another thing. The type of patch that you put on the drum, right? So for example, I'll show you with this kick drum. I have kind of like a felt, kind of a fabric patch on here. Right now the kick drum sounds good, right? But because that felt patch is on there, this kick drum is not gonna tick as much as it could if it was just hitting the actual clear head. So this felt actually kind of muffles the tick a little bit. So if you want a little less tick in your kick drum, consider using a felt like this. But for example, I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna put a clear felt on this instead. So I'm gonna take this and put it on the kick drum. That's another thing to consider. You also need to think about muffling. So what you actually put inside the drum. For the most part, a pillow, maybe a pillow and a light like cloth or something. They actually sell these things you can put in the drums. Like this one actually has one. But I added an additional pillow. Like pillows, towels, things like that. You can put those in the drum, and that will take some of the, the mass tone out of it, right? So if you want a more resonant tone producing kick drum, well, you probably don't want to throw a pillow in it. But if you want a less pitchy kick drum, you probably want to throw some pillows or something in it. So all those things kind of factor into tuning and getting the sound you want. You got to pick the right heads. You got to pick the right patches that you put on your kick drum. You got to muffle it properly, and of course you got to tune it properly. Yeah, that just about does it.